Morning chat. Morning. Y'all come on in. There we go. Y'all come on in, man. Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. Good morning. Y'all come on in. Just checking everything, making sure we good. Maynard, Texas in the building. Shout out to Texas. We got JoJo Nope. What's going on, fam? What's going on? Michelle, how you doing today? Hopefully everybody having a good day. What's today? Tuesday. Hopefully everybody having a good Tuesday. Yeah. Y'all come on in, man. The off-grid trucker. Hey, man, thank you for subscribing to the tribe as well, Aki. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to you, off-grid trucker, or House of Akichita. I don't know if I be saying that right, but let me know. What's going on, Grafty Allah? Shalom, fam. We got Shreveport. We got Shreveport in here. Shout out to Shreveport. Shout out to Louisiana in general. Michelle say, I'm happy. Glory to Jesus. Yes, amen. AZ Sunset, what's going on? Okay, all right. Okay, we got quite a few people in here. Shout out to Arizona too. We got quite a few people in here, man. I just want to have my coffee chat. Evelyn in the building. Y'all hit the like button, man. Run the lights up for me. I just want to chat with y'all real quick. You know what I mean? And just chop it up. Cause you know something that we gotta constantly remind ourselves, that I have to constantly even remind myself. Simple is better. Simple is better, right? There is beauty in simplicity. I know we're taught, like, especially in the Western Hemisphere, we're taught more, always to seek more. You know, and a lot of the times when we're doing that, we're overcomplicating things. It could, like I say, this could be with anything. This could be on, with your homestead, with your garden. They telling you, oh, you got to have, this mixture for this soil and this and that and all that stuff, right? Oh, you need this for your chickens or for this. Man, keep it simple. We all heard of the KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean? And not calling y'all stupid, I'm calling myself stupid. Because I have to constantly remind myself, man, keep it simple. Because a lot of times we tend to overcomplicate things, man, because we're always told that we need more. Once you get this, you need to get that, and just all this stuff. And it's like, man, before you look up, man, you done just overcomplicated the process when it could have been simple. When it could have been just a straight line, you done went this way, that way, and you done, like, it ain't straight no more. You know what I'm saying? But there is beauty in simplicity, and that's what I want to talk about today. William Sheila say, it's the simple things for me. I'm trying to tell you. It's the simple things. The simple things in life is what make life fulfilling. It's the simple things. Just for instance, right now, what am I doing? I'm sitting on my porch and I'm drinking coffee. The sun is out. I mean, it's a little chilly, but the weather overall is good. I'm looking at my chickens scratch, the soil and, peck around. I'm looking at birds flying. I'm looking at all kind of birds flying. Just, what I'm saying? I'm looking at the dandelions. You know what I mean? The trees just swinging. Simple. But guess what? It's like, man, this is fulfilling. This is amazing. You know what I mean? Because it was just raining yesterday. And it was gloomy. And I ain't tripping because we needed the rain. We always need the rain. We'll be sitting here looking stupid if it didn't rain. If there's a drought, right? Like we had a drought warning. But I'm just saying, like, the conditions are more favorable today. And it's like I'm able to just sit on my porch and just enjoy just the scenery and the beauty. The simple things in life. See why somebody will be telling you, oh, you need to be doing this, or you need to be chasing the bag right now. You need to be, attending this place or doing that, or, whatever the case may be. You need to be on the road trying to. It's like, nah, man, just keep it simple. Just enjoy life. Her Roots and Garden Diary. What's going on, fam? Say, hey, hosting chat. So happy I caught you live here at work listening. Okay, for sure. Aki Cheetah. Okay, gotcha. Aki Cheetah. What is it? Crystal White. What's going on? I'm about to go have some tea with a friend at Zy Tea in Austin, Texas. I was wondering if it was cool there. Oh, I'm not sure. I never been there. But see, look, we live in a world that always promotes more. We live in a country that always promotes more. They promote war too, but they always promote more. Like, the greed is insane. You know what I mean? The greed is insane. Like, it's not just enough to, have a comfortable lifestyle. They tell you, oh no, you got to get more, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. And then once you get that, once you continue to gain things, they tell you even more things. So you got the 2026, Mercedes. Now 2027 come, they telling you you need that one. You need the 2027 G-Wagon. Even though you got the 2026, they telling you need more. Same thing with your house. Oh man, you need to upgrade your house and get this in your house. You need to upgrade your iPhone. Ain't enough to just have the iPhone 13. No, go get the Pro Max. Like more. They telling you more. But here's the thing: more doesn't always mean better. A lot of times, more things will just be more of a burden. You know what I mean? So like, I know they promote more, but more isn't always better. And we have to understand, like, man, sometimes less is more. Sometimes less is more. That's how I remember growing up, sitting on the porch, walking walking near the pond. Yeah, like even like how I grew up. My grandma and them would sit on the porch, read their newspaper, smoke their little cigarette or whatnot, drink their little coffee, while we'll be out in the yard playing. And it was just simple. You know what I'm saying? It was just simple. Like those are the days, that I miss. Like, it was just simple. Just waking up in the morning, eat your little breakfast, sit on the porch or whatnot. And it was just a simple life. And they didn't have a need for all this extra stuff. They was just content with just sitting out, sitting on the porch, just watching the kids play, watching the cars pass, waving at the cars that pass or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoying nature, just enjoying the weather, just enjoying life. Another day. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, like, it's the simple things in life. Simplicity keeps you from worrying most times, or keeps your anxiety down based on the scriptures. We are to be anxious for nothing. The night way, we got the night way in the building. I'm gonna pin that. Night way. If it'll let me. There we go. See, when you constantly are seeking more and trying to get more and trying to complicate things, it increases your anxiety. It increases your worry. Because you gotta, like I say, in addition to getting more, yeah, you may reap more blessings and different things, but you also reap the responsibility of having more. And so when you have more responsibility, you have more to worry about. You have more to manage. You have more to steward over. So it can cause you anxiety and worry. But when you keep things simple, when you keep the important things, then you don't have a lot to worry about. Your anxiety isn't going to be always up. So I well said, the night way. And good morning to you, by the way. War equals money. Yeah, exactly. We're living in an insatiable society. Yes, we are. We're insatiable or just lustful, just never being satisfied. Just always needing more. Instead of just saying, man, you know what? I'm good right here. There's nothing. I'm actually the opposite, like, as far as like when it comes to, wanting more and different things like that. Sometimes I can be too comfortable. You know what I mean? But a lot of times, man, people, it's just, they never satisfied. Even when they get what they were just praying for, it's like, okay, well, on to the next thing. And yeah, it's human nature, but at a certain point, it just becomes just greed. it becomes this greed. But it's how we've been programmed and indoctrinated in this country to always crave more and to always seek more. And it's like, man, no, just sometimes just be thankful where you at. You may need to sit in that blessing for a year or two, maybe 5. You may need to marinate right there. That's probably where you need to marinate. But you so busy on to the next thing that you're not even appreciating what you've acquired over this time. And then you'll get down the road and you'll look back and say, man, I acquired all these things, I gained all these things, but I didn't enjoy them. I got all these mansions, I got all these cars, I got more cars than I can drive. I haven't even driven all these cars. I just bought them because it was a status symbol. I ain't even get to enjoy it. I ain't even get to take the car out. I maybe drove it once or twice. I ain't even stay in all the rooms in this. Like, I got a mansion with 18 bedrooms. I ain't even, slept in 2 of them. Or I'm not even utilizing 10 of them. But society has told me that I need more. I need this, I need that. And all it has done is stress me out. All it has done is just left me unfulfilled. That's why sometimes, man, we got to take a step back. I know we want more. I know sometimes we want more. A lot of the times we want more. But at the same time, ask yourself, I made a live video on this probably a week or 2 ago. Am I maximizing what I have in my hand right now? Am I fully taking advantage of what I got going on right now? Am I truly enjoying the blessings to this fullest extent that I have before me right now? That I've tarried for? Y'all run them lights up for me. Have you tried that mushroom tea? No, I haven't. I've heard good things about it though. Oh no, I meant cool as in temperature where you are. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's hold on, let me. It feel like it's in like the 60s right now because the sun is out. Oh no, 44. I guess because I'm sitting right in the sun. That's why it ain't really that cold to me right here. But it's 44. Yeah, it's cool here today. So it's supposed to be cool for the next 3 days. And then Friday, it's the high is 76 here. And then it's, man, hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. me and my wife were just talking about this, man. I think they doing something with this weather. I don't know. Like, I think they manipulating, because it's just crazy how it's fluctuating up and down, up and down, up and down. And it get real hot, and then it'll get back chilly. But I digress on that. I digress. More don't equal peace and happiness. It don't. It doesn't. Some of the most fulfilled, happy people don't have a lot. If you go to other countries, third world countries, countries that aren't as developed as America, and you go look at their kids are always smiling, they happy, they willing to share what they got. But see, over here, our kids, they never satisfied. They don't eat what you give them. They always got to have some sort of special meal. Then they got to have their tablet or their phone or this, that, and the third. They don't want to share. You know what I mean? Like. But when you go to other countries, those people are happy for the most part. They happy. They see the value in just the simple things in life. The things that we say are small or just like the things we take for granted. Good health, food, shelter, clean water. The things that we take for granted that we just think automatically supposed to come. They are thankful for those things, and they're fulfilled with just those basic things. And that's why a lot of times, they have better quality of life than we have over here. You know what I mean? Definitely less is best. Exactly. When you can optimize and streamline systems, just things in general, possessions, all that type of stuff. When you can optimize and streamline, man, your life will be a whole lot better. Your life will be a whole lot better because you got all this stuff, you got all these ideas, all this stuff that you want and all that. But if you just optimize your lifestyle and simplify it and streamline a lot of the things, man, it'll take a whole bunch of stress off of you. When you just simplify everything and say, yeah, I mean, it's good to have this and that and the third, but do I really need it? Is this just something extra? It's just like, for instance, we got a certain amount of storage on our phone, right? And, sometimes we get to the point to where we reach capacity, and then they say, well, you got to delete stuff if you want to download this or if you want to get that. And then A lot of times we don't want to delete stuff because we're like, oh man, I ain't really got nothing I can delete. But if you actually start going through those apps that you got and you just see like, well, I don't even use this app. When do I ever use this app? I mean, it's good to have, but when do I use it? I don't really use it like that. I use it maybe once every few months. I can delete this. Let me go through my photo album and see how many duplicate pictures I got. How many screenshots that I don't need no more. I can delete those screenshots. I can delete those extra pictures. See what I'm saying? Let me go through my email. Let me see what emails I have that are taking up storage that I can delete. But see, until we start going through, what we have in our storage, then we don't think everything is important. We're not going to want to delete nothing. But then when we're forced to, then that's when we say, oh man, I don't even need half of this stuff. I can delete half of this stuff. You know what? Let me just have only the apps that I use every day. And then if I need to download something extra, I'll just download it for that time that I'm using it. And then I'm going to delete it. Let me simplify this thing. I'm not using, Pinterest or, whatever apps. I don't know. I'm not using these all the time. Now, if you are, then keep them on your phone. But if you're not, then delete it off your phone. You know what I mean? But it's the same thing in life. What am I using every day? What am I not using every day? Like, you got all these things, all these things stored up in your storage room and all this. When's the last time I used this treadmill? Do I ever use this treadmill? Man, let me get rid of this treadmill. And if I get to the point to where I want to get back on my health journey, then maybe I can buy a gym membership, or maybe I can buy, something that's going to be cheaper than this and not take up as much space. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe I could just go walking outside, running outside. How about that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's optimize what we got going on and simplify. Hey, okay, I don't like social media, but I create a Facebook profile to connect and so on. Sent your request. Okay, where did you send the request to? What profile? Philippians 3:5-6, the Bible reminds us. Yeah, exactly. Christy Lewis, what's going on? Good morning, family. Don't worry, as a homesteader, there will always be more. More weeds, more bugs, and more gophers. No, for real, Black Mama. Yes. As a homesteader, it's always going to be more. It's always going to be more work. Always going to be more challenges. Always going to be more weeds to pull up. Always going to be, just more to do. So if you want more, man, get more. Get out here in this garden and get this work done. Go out here and get these projects done that need to be done. Go out and buy the extra livestock that you need and all this type of stuff. Go in and optimize your systems and get the things on the prep list that you need to get. That's your more right there. Yeah, I know what you meant, Michelle. Coveting is what is being said. Yep. Coveting. Now we got to get out of that. Like our original plan, we were to tend the garden, mothers with their children, and being a homemaker. That's the enemy plan for us. Exactly. And that's why we're so out of whack. AZ Sunset Homestead, especially in the Black community. That's why, the Black community, we're so out of alignment because they've twisted the dynamic. They've turned the dynamic on its head. And so it's like now they telling our women got to be this, and then the men got to be that, and just leave the kids to fend for themselves and all this stuff, and then they just complicating everything in life. And as a result, we always got these gender wars and all this stupid crap. Always got these topics of conversation that really don't mean nothing and is not bringing no lasting change. It's just strife. Yeah, man, I definitely agree with that. Appreciate that, House of man. Hold on, I gotta see how to pronounce it again. Akichita. All right, I gotta keep saying it. Akichita. Getting stuff that you can't enjoy because you have to work 2 jobs to pay for it. Don't even get to enjoy it. Don't even get to, like I say, truly enjoy the blessing. Like you done work 2 jobs to get this big old house, and you only in it a few hours out of the day. And those few hours you in it, you sleep most of the time because you got to get up and go back to work. Instead of, getting something that's in your budget and you still able to enjoy that house. You still able to enjoy that home. You feel what I'm saying? You still able to be there with your kids, with your wife, etc. Yes, indeed. I ask myself those questions too. Weather manipulation, and that's what it is. Because you know it's so crazy. I was just last week, right? We were sitting out here, and I saw planes flying in the sky, but I saw them leaving the chemtrails. I saw it because I'm like, that's not fuel that they burning. No, those are, you know, that's chemicals that they, you know, putting in the air. I saw it. I saw like 2 or 3 of them doing it. So yeah, I know it's weather manipulation. Yep, exactly, JoJo. They're doing something strange with the weather. They are. I'm in a meteorology class and I was just reading about cloud seeding and iodine. They're dropping clouds to make the weather preferable. Yep, cloud seeding, Michelle Sanders, exactly. Speak. Some are wishing and praying for what some have, but some are never thankful in the things they have, but some are never appreciative of the things that have until it's taken from them. Yeah, exactly, until it's taken from them. Why is it that a lot of the times we don't appreciate what we got until we lose it? Whether that be a spouse, whether that be a house, whether that be a car, whether that be a job, whether that be your business, you know, whether that be your physical abilities, your health. Man, start appreciating what you got right now. Like, man, I'm so appreciative to just be in my right mind. I'm so appreciative to just have good health and be able-bodied to get out here and do stuff. I'm so appreciative that I can even just have a cup of coffee, you know what I'm saying, and chop it up with y'all. Like, just things like that, man. We got to be appreciative for the simple things in life, for the simple blessings. You know, and really, like, when you look at them, they're simple, but they're so great. They're so great, and they're so essential. We're so spoiled in the country until it's just sickening. Yes, it is. And it's leaving us sick as well. Who said that? Her roots is leaving us sick too. It's sickening to think about, but it's also leaving us sick. I'm starting to using extra resources that I have been storing up. Definitely try to replace them though. If you're gonna use them, definitely try to replace them after you use them. Get rid of a few things a day, and it'll feel less overwhelming. Yes, it will. And see, some of these things, man, you might have money sitting around, man. You could sell some of this stuff and get some money for it and use that money for something that's more important. You may got a room full of stuff, you know, old clothes, shoes, you know what I'm saying, equipment, tools, exercise stuff, you know, just whatever. You might have a whole bunch of stuff that you don't even use, that you don't plan on using, that you could sell and make some money and put that money towards something that's actually going to benefit you. A man can organize and arrange his home in order, but sometimes you have to remove drywall, flooring, ceiling to get rid of mold. Yes, you do. Surgery from within. Absolutely, fam. Exactly. What tribe you from? Based on your family location. What do you mean weeknight special? What are you talking about? Abdullah, what's going on? All praise to the Most High. Shout out. Oh, we got Germany in the building. PvP, what's going on, man? Shout out to Germany. Okay, Israel Remnant. Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna go look on there, grab the olive, and I'm gonna go accept it. The black community is propaganda. We'll copy. Hey, I feel you, but weeknight. This ain't the conversation for that, right? I feel you. I feel what you know what you got going on, but we talking about, you know, something that is a weightier matter. You feel what I'm saying? So just with all due respect. You know, we don't want to talk about that right now. There's always more to do on your homestead, farm, ranch. Exactly. Garden in the Bayou City. Good to see you. It's been a minute. The marathon. What's going on, fam? Peace and blessings. Hey, man, I'm stuck between Arizona and Georgia. Start homesteading. Any thoughts between the two? Well, you know, I'm partial to Georgia. I'm gonna say Georgia because I'm in GA. You know what I'm saying? I love Georgia. Georgia, the land, I feel like it's more affordable, but I feel like the land is also better and more fertile in Georgia, in the Southeast in general. You know what I mean? I feel like the land is more fertile and better. I mean, you know, but at the same time, hey, if Arizona, if you find more benefit in that, I don't know if you're from out that way, but if you're from out that way, that might be better for you. But I'm partial to the Southeast because I'm from the Southeast. You know, I'm from Florida originally, but like where I'm from, we're not too far from Georgia. So like I'm partial to this region in general. And I just feel like it's the best region in the country, especially for black folks. You feel what I'm saying? Especially, you know, if you get in the right city, the right county, you buy land in the right place, man, you'll be good. So that's what I would say, Sadiq. I say Georgia. This is another thing too, right? Simple doesn't mean easy. Just because you simplify things don't mean it's going to be easy. All it means is you're going to be more focused on what's important because you're streamlining things. So when we hear simple, a lot of times we think it's easy and we think like it ain't gonna be no hard work. No, simple don't equate to easy. But what simple does ensure is that you're going to be more locked in on what's important. Simple means you're going to put first things first. Simple means you're going to put the horse before the cart and not the cart before the horse. And you're going to be focused on the things that are going to actually produce results. That's what simple means. So it don't mean easy. It's the same amount of work. It's just that the work is going to be concentrated on where it's supposed to be going to. But when you complicate things, you put in the same amount of energy and effort, but it's just going in different directions. It's like a shallow root system, right? Y'all remember when I talked about the tap root? So you got a tap root and you got the shallow root system. The tap root is a thick concentrated root that goes deep into the ground, right? And it goes deep into the ground. It's able to tap into a lot of different minerals and even sometimes a water source that's below the ground, right? But you have a shallow root system that spreads out with many different branches of the root, but it doesn't go deep. So it's easily able to be plucked up. It's easily able to be like when the wind comes and it's easily able to be just knocked out of its place because the root system doesn't go deep. It's not anchored. The tap root is anchored. So that's what happens when you simplify things and when you streamline things. You develop a tap root. You develop something that's able to just go deep and be anchored and be able to really just focus all of its attention in just one main place or a few main places versus your energy is sporadic and it's over here, it's over there. You got this meeting today and then you got to do that today. Like that's one thing that I do not miss about the Army. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the systems were simplified and streamlined, but just a lot of the everyday practices, it was just it was too complicated. So I'm saying, you got to go to this meeting. Then once you come from this meeting, you got to do this, and then you got to do that, and then it's just all over the place. And even in my career, it was kind of like that as well, because it's like, man, let's just streamline. Let's put first things first. Let's do what's important. You pulling me every which direction, and then you still expecting me to get done what I need to get done. That it don't work like that. Let me focus on it. Like if it's that important, why you can't put somebody else in the position to do this and then just have people focused on different areas, but let that be their main focus instead of trying to spread everybody too thin. So again, family, like simple doesn't mean less work. Simple doesn't mean easy. It just means the work is going to be concentrated. Like a concentrate, you know what I'm saying? Like a concentrate is very, very strong. You see what I'm saying? But when you start to, again, try to spread out, and try to, put some work in over here, then put some work over there, and then put some work over there, it's not going to be as potent. It's not going to be as potent. That's a good point. I vote GA too. Yeah. Oh, and AZ Sunset Homestead is in Arizona. And she said she vote GA. She vote Georgia. I got a box to grow some potatoes. I have seen how you did it. I have to see how you did it because I tried it one time, but I didn't yield a potato. I grow some veggies in my backyard. Yeah. So I'm growing potatoes in these black bins that I'm doing, and then you could go buy any type of garden soil, or create your own soil mixture, however you want to do it, right? But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna layer the bottom with like leaves and just organic matter, different things like that, wood chips, and then I'm gonna put the soil on top of that, and then I'm gonna put my potato slips or my chitted potatoes into the garden bed. I'm gonna bury them deep, and then just keep watering them and different things like that. Fertilize. Make sure you do that as well. But I'll make a video when I go ahead and plant the potatoes, so that way y'all can see. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go live while I do it. The color of wheat has many shades of color. I found that pretty awesome. Yes, it does. Absolutely. Grab the olive. Say I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm converting over to the farming lifestyle now while in the suburbs. So when I acquire land, I already had a blueprint. Exactly, Andre. That's exactly what I preach. Do it where you're at. I see another chemtrail, y'all. I see another chemtrail. You know what's crazy? I just said it and I see it right now in the sky. 2 of them. I see 2 of them. Right now, as I'm speaking, I'm seeing it go across the sky. Wow, that's crazy. Hold on, let me see if I can show y'all. Hopefully y'all can see it. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see it though. Let me know if y'all can see that. Y'all see that? That's crazy. That's crazy. I just talked about it and it's happening right now as I'm speaking. But that's what I preach, Andre. Start where you at, man. I started in the suburbs too. And then that's why when I moved to the land, I was familiar with chickens. I was familiar with gardening. You know what I'm saying? And then I just expanded off of that. I was worried about data centers popping up in AZ. I've been hearing that the zoning gets changed on an area secretly and people are forced out. Wow. Yeah, these data centers, man. These data centers, you know, that's just a crazy situation in itself. That's a whole nother topic of conversation. It depends on your need and wants. Yeah, exactly. I guess the main appeal was the land price. Yeah, but see, understand too, man, like, okay, I can understand the land prices, but at the same time, you want to invest wisely. You know, cost is an important factor, but it shouldn't be the determining factor. Especially like you might find a good price, but the land might not be able to produce as much, or you know, you may not, the zoning laws and different things like that. So price is important, but at the same time, don't base it all on price. Look at the overall, you know, everything that you want to do. Look at, are you going to be able to do everything you want to do, and then at that price, and then also, you know, make sure that there's no restrictions, you know, the zoning is right and all that type of stuff. A water that is concentrated and under pressure can break through the toughest metals under concrete and concrete. Same with light. Exactly. When it's concentrated, it becomes stronger. When you're concentrated, you become stronger. When you're locked in on a single goal and you put all your focus on that, it's like you're going to be so strong and powerful. You're going to be able to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. So let's just say you got a business. When you focus all your attention on that business, like you ain't trying to do this side hustle and do this and do that. No, you just focus on the business. You studying the business. You mastering your craft. You getting your recipes down pat. You know what I'm saying? You getting your customer service. Everything that requires, you know, everything that a business requires, that's what you're focused on. You become the best, you know, business around that's in your niche, in your category, because you studying the business. You put in all your focus, all your concentration on the most important thing. And as a result, you're going to get the rewards and the results from that. Nicole G, I'm not sure. You may have to unclick the button and click the button again, the notification bell. Focus. Please make that video soon. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so y'all see the chemtrails. Y'all seen it. I ain't crazy. Like I'm not crazy. Like I be seeing it randomly. And I see 2 of them right now. All is well. It's so refreshing to have a coffee chat listening to the OG speak wisdom, homesteading from Elberton, Georgia. And we'll be on the lookout for some small piece of land. Okay, for sure, Abdullah. Yeah, man. Glad to have you in. Okay, so yeah, y'all see it. Absolutely. Yep. 5G, 6G. Best to flush our systems from certain heavy metals. Great tips on that naturally would be awesome. You know what? I'm going to look into that. I'm going to definitely look into that. Definitely flushing your system for heavy metals and stuff like that. But right now, one of the most powerful herbs that we should all be taking is oil of oregano, black seed oil, soursop bitters. Bitters are very good for you. Bitter herbs in general, you know, cilantros, you know, parsley. I don't know if parsley a bitter herb. I think it is. But like just look up just bitter herbs and, you know, take bitter herbs, but also look up bitters, like bitter tonics. You know, you can buy them from the health food store, Amazon, different things like that. But oil of oregano is very, very good. Oil of oregano is one of the best things that we could be taking right now. And black seed oil. In my area, you can find land for a great price. Where you located, Cool Runnings? Where you in Georgia? Especially on a really sunny day. Yeah, GA got land. Please help. Oh, you got land, Crystal. You have land. Sea moss is good. Yep, sea moss is good as well. Sage. Oh, you in Palaca? Okay. Oh, you in my yeah, Palaca. Matter of fact, I know somebody with some land in Palaca. One of my good friends, Jarvis, he got some land in Palaca as well. But yeah, Palaca. Like if you in North Florida, Palaca, Stark, and what's that other city? Palaca, Stark. Oh man, I can't even think of the Ocala, of course. I can't. It's another little small town in North Florida as well. But yeah, look in Palaca, Stark, and yeah, Ocala. Look in those areas if you're in North Florida. If you're in North Florida. Parsley, yep. Parsley does remove heavy metals from the body. Parsley is very, very good. That's why, like, you know, I keep Passover, right? Passover coming up in the next few weeks. And in Passover, hold on real quick. Somebody called. Hey, let me call you right back. I'm on a video. All right. But Palaca. No. I'm talking about Palaca. But that's a good place to buy land. Parsley is a good herb. But I keep Passover, so during the Passover, you know, we commanded to, you know, prepare the lamb a certain way, but also to eat bitter herbs, right? And those bitter herbs are very, very good for you, especially like after you eat heavy things, after you eat meat and different things like that. Eat you some bitter herbs. It helps with the digestion. It just helps overall with your health as well. Alrighty. I found a nice large piece of land here. Yep. Did you get snow down there in GA, and are you off grid? We're not totally off grid. But we got a little bit of snow this year. Just it barely covered the ground, just a little flurry. But last year we got a little bit of snow. We got probably like 6-7 inches last year. But we don't get snow much down here in Southeast Georgia. I live in Michigan and moving to Indiana. That's what's up, Fight Night. No, Ocala is not what it used to be at all. Yeah, but I still found some you know, because I was looking on Zillow and Realtor, and I found some land for some good prices. Also, Statesboro, Georgia. If you're looking into Georgia, look into Statesboro. Statesboro is a good area as well. We are Orlando Junior currently. Yeah, but see, this is the thing, Nicole G. They building up Florida in general. Like, even when I go back home to Jacksonville, it's like they building up Jacksonville so much. Because I guess they're trying to attract tourists all over the state. And honestly, I don't like that. I would prefer people don't move to Jacksonville. Because I like Jacksonville being what you call boring. People say Jacksonville boring. I'm glad. Don't come there. Stay out of my city. Because when y'all come there, then y'all taking my fishing spots. Y'all taking my hangout spots now. I don't like all that. You know, stay where y'all at. Go down to Central and South Florida if y'all want to move to Florida. We just celebrated Passover this past week. That's what's up, baby. Boo baby, that's what's up. Yes, can't wait to Passover. Me neither. Me neither, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'll definitely look for land in Georgia and compare it to. I'm in Northeast right now and hoping to move in a year or so. Yeah, just look all around Georgia. You know what I mean? Land Watch is a good one. Realtor is a good website. You know, just look on those websites right there. And just look at different areas. I did a list. I don't know if you're melanated, if you're black, but I did a list on like the top 10 places where black people can buy land or should buy land based off of just, you know, demographics and stuff like that, because you got to be careful. It is sundown towns in Georgia. Well, it's really sundown towns all over the U.S., but it's sundown towns in Georgia too, you know, where a lot of black people ain't welcome. And I know people don't like to talk about that, but it's true. There are places where, you know, that black people are not necessarily welcome. So, you know, it's important that when you're looking at land, look at the demographics of who lives, you know, in that city. You know, and are you going to be just a sore thumb sticking out, or are you going to be, you know, kind of amongst, you know, people who look like you? Is 10K enough? I'll grow on top of the soil. What do you mean, to buy land? I'm out in the Ozarks. Yep. Oh yeah, the Ozarks is good too. I heard about the Ozarks. The word a bar to pass over. Exactly. Yep. Oh, is 10K enough for a plot of land that's a reasonable size? I would say depending on what you're looking at, but you're probably looking at an acre or two, maybe for that. You know, just based off of my research and what I've looked at. I mean, anything over that, I don't think you're gonna find for 10K. Just being honest. That's the video. Okay, yeah. That's the video that you first found me. Yep. Hi, I'm new here and been watching you for a while. I was wondering, can you talk about Passover more? Jasmine, yes, I can. What do you want to know? Also, I got videos on Passover as well. I got like 2 or 3 videos of us keeping the Passover, how we do it, you know, and going in depth as far as, you know, the purposes and just how we do it according to scripture. So I do have videos on that. If you just look up Set Apart Gardens Passover, you know, I got like 2 or 3 videos of us doing the Passover as well. But if you got any questions, I can answer them. We just got hit with 6 inches of snow and lots of wind. The front porch is looking very relaxing. Yeah, nah, that's what's up. We have lots of acres in Mississippi if you want to purchase land and develop it. Okay, appreciate that, Gilead Rock. Yeah, Mississippi too. Yeah, people sleep on Mississippi, but definitely Mississippi too. Got some good land. Mississippi, Alabama, like I say, the southeast. Well, Mississippi ain't necessarily the southeast, but you know, it's still the south. I have a small garden that I started. Also started growing herbs for my medicinal cabinet, so I will be taking over-counter crap and what they've been trying to prescribe you. I'm going all natural. I feel you. Yeah, I started going all natural as well. You know, because I got prescriptions and stuff too that I be getting, but you know, I'm going natural as well. Well, I've been going natural. Okay, I would definitely find that. Thanks. Yeah, just look up Set Apart Gardens Passover, and it'll come up. You know, the Passover we did last year and the year before last. And I want to say that even the year before that. I think we got 3 Passover videos, but I know for sure we got 2. I was wanting to ask you too. What's going on, Baby Boo 2.0? Yeah, if y'all got questions about Passover, you can ask them. But like I said, we got the videos as well. But real quick too, right? This is another thing too. When it comes to simplicity, just kind of get back on topic. When it comes to simplicity, nature thrives on simplicity. So we as humans, we've overcomplicated everything. If you just look at nature, it thrives on simplicity. If you just drop a seed on the ground, man, it'll spring up and it'll produce a plant. I mean, if you don't cut your grass, many things will start growing up. Herbs, you know, plants, all types of stuff. It'll just start growing up, right? But we just feel like, oh man, we got to overcomplicate this gardening thing. We got to overcomplicate livestock, not knowing that the Most High put the instincts inside the livestock to reproduce, to take care of their young, to you know, find medicine and different things like that. A lot of times, if you leave, like just say you got sheep or goats, a lot of times they have the instincts to survive and know what to do. See what I'm saying? I mean, you got some breeds of animals that you may need to be more hands-on with, but some breeds of animals, you know, they just know what to do. But we're the ones who overcomplicate it and say, oh, well, you got to have all this and you got to have all that, right? But nature thrives on simplicity. Humans also thrive on simplicity, but when we made life complicated, that's when we started having all these problems that we got right now. That's when we started developing these ailments that we got right now. That's when we started developing all these mental illnesses and just depressions and all this type of stuff, because we complicated things. We complicated life. We complicated how I made a video talking about how we're the only ones who are outside the circle of life. I made a video on that, right, last week. Humans are the only ones who go against their instincts and how we were created. If you look at the animals, they just gonna naturally graze. They're just gonna naturally scratch and peck and, you know, just do whatever they do as animals, as livestock. They're gonna serve their purpose naturally. But when it comes to us serving our purpose, we've been manipulated not to. We've been manipulated to go against our purpose. We've been manipulated to go against our very nature as human beings. And as a result, we've complicated life. But when you get back to just simplicity in life and the simple things, you'll start to see the beauty more and you'll enjoy life more. I've been applying for farming internships, apprenticeships. I think a market garden in my path. The food movement is growing in my city. That's what I love to hear that. I love to hear that. 1/2 acre is enough to start. I'm on 6.5 acres in SoCal, and the house garden cool and 14 fruit trees only uses 0.5 acres. I'm glad you said that, Black Mama, because I'm on just like right under 6 acres, 5.8 to be exact. And I tell people all the time, we use maybe 1 acre of that. We are only using maybe 1 acre with our garden, with our chicken coop, with our dog kennels, with our paddocks. Well, no, with the paddocks, it's probably like close to 2. You know what I'm saying? But we're not even utilizing all of our land, and we still got plenty more to grow into. Start small, or start at a manageable pace. You don't got to go out and buy all this land, man. 1 acre, you could eat off of 1 acre, man. You could eat off of a 1/2 acre. I'm talking about eat good off of 1/2 acre. Do whatever you want to do on a 1/2 acre. Like it don't take a lot. Now, if you want to get into bigger livestock like cattle and stuff like that, then you're gonna need more land. I got that. But I'm saying if you just want to do the regular homestead setup, man, get you anywhere between a 1/2 to 3 acres, and you'll be fine. I'm telling you, you can do everything you want on that. Everything. And then you still gonna have to grow into that. Watch what I tell you. God word have been spoken upon the grounds to bring forth food to the ground. Exactly, prophetic. Yep. I think 1 to 2 acre fit my needs. Thank you for sharing. Yes. Fight night. 1 to 2 acres. I'm telling you. 1 to 2. Now, hey, now I'm wishing, I'm like, man, if I just got like 2 acres, I'd have been good. But nah, I'm good where I'm at right now. Like, because I got plans for my whole property. You know, I got plans. I got phases in what I'm doing. But 1 to 2 acres is enough for your needs. Trust me. It's another chemtrail, y'all. Another one. Dang, they busy today. But yeah, they probably is cloud seeding. That's crazy. Seeing it in real time. But yeah, man, 1 to 2 acres. You gotta think. A lot of our great grandparents, they did it in standard size backyards, 1/2 acre, 1/4 acre yards. You know, they grew food in their front and backyard, and they made, you know, the use of it. You know, they made use of what they had, and they had nice gardens. They survived on them gardens, man. They survived on them gardens. Unless you're trying to like build a big business and like do some sort of like industrial farming concept, then you don't need a lot of land. Like if you want to grow like, you know, certain crops and you want to grow them in mass, I understand it. You may need 10, 15, 20, 50 acres, you know what I'm saying, to grow corn or wheat or soybeans or whatever. I got that. Sugar cane. You know, cool. I understand that. You know, it's a market for that. But if you just talking about homesteading, like everything you producing is for your home, and then you may sell a little bit of it. 2 acres, 3 acres, 5 acres at the most, and you'll be straight. You'll be straight, I'm telling you. I want to get to the point where I can grow and raise most of what I eat. Tired of being slowly poisoned. Yes, me too. Well, I was, but yeah, you know, because now, and that's why I'm teaching people, man, hey, stop eating this mystery meat. I can show you how to source your own meat and process it. It's not hard at all. It's not hard at all. And, well, it can be hard at first, but I'm literally giving you the blueprint. Because I had to kind of learn how to do it, you know, myself. You see what I'm saying? But I'm willing to teach you that. But, like, just in general, even just growing food, man, because this stuff is slow. Matter of fact, you know what's crazy? And I'm going to probably make a video about this. They was talking about if you eat Quaker oats, like any type of Quaker oats, Nature Valley, like those oats, you are at a higher risk for cancer because they're what they spray it with. Dang, I can't think of the actual chemical they spray it with, but the same chemical is found in, you know, a lot of these pesticides and herbicides they spray it with, and it increases your risk up to 40% for cancer if you eat those oats. So just stuff like that is enough to scare you into like, man, you know what? Let me start taking this serious, taking this food serious. You know, we don't eat Quaker oats and nothing. We get out like our oats, our grits, our flour, we get from Azure Standard. That's AZURE Standard. Azure Standard, they very, very good. And then you can get it in bulk too. You know, honey, olive oil, all that type of stuff. We get from Azure Standard. It's all organic. It's ethically sourced, ethically raised, all that good stuff. Until we start like growing that stuff on our own, Azure Standard, farmers markets, different things like that is where we get our grains and stuff like that from. But a lot of these store-bought grains, these enriched flour, enriched grits, all that type of stuff, those things are just slowly poisoning us. Tell me about it. Tell me about it with me being a beginner gardener. I watch some gardeners on YouTube. They've been saying you need this and that. But what did my grandma need? Not all this you're saying I need. I'm telling you her roots. Yes. Like, don't get me wrong. Some of these things are good that they telling you to get, but it's not a necessity. Your ground, probably, like you can plant seeds in your natural untilled ground and you could, you know, spring up fruit, vegetables, different things like that. Like, if you want to add amendments to your soil, you can, but your soil will produce on its own right now. I'm telling you, it will. Most likely, most of your soil will. You don't need a lot of this stuff. Now, as you start growing things in and you start going from season to season, you want to add stuff back into it. But the stuff that you got to add back to it, it ain't complicated. Get you a compost bin and just add compost, add manure, right? If you got chickens, add that chicken manure to your compost, let it break down. If you got sheep manure that you can get a hold to, you can go to the Lowe's and get black cow, you know, mushroom compost, stuff like that. And you could just add that. And you could till that into your ground. You know what I'm saying? One thing I do, I'm going to tell you something I do just that's so simple. When I'm, you know, done, like say if I'm cutting some vegetables or something like that, right? When I'm done, all the vegetable scraps, I just take it and I just throw it out there in the yard or in the garden. I just throw it out there and I just let it decompose. And guess what? As it's decomposing, it's adding nutrients back into the soil. It's bringing organic matter back into the soil. That's all I do. I just throw it, you know, same thing. I put it at the base of my fruit tree. You know what I'm saying? I'm going fishing. I got fish guts, fish heads. I dig a hole around the base of my fruit tree and I bury it right there. See what I'm saying? Just simple stuff like that. Cause like growing up, that's what my grandma used to do. They just throw stuff out in the yard. You know, I'm talking about like, you know, fruits and vegetables, organic matter. They just throw it out in the yard. And it's gonna go back into the soil. That's all. And it's just gonna increase the life of the soil. You don't need all this stuff they telling y'all need. I remember Led saying that. Somebody asked Led, oh, what's the best type of soil to buy for this, that, and third? He said, whatever's the cheapest at the store, whatever they got to sell on, whatever you can get. Because really, like, they market it to you like, oh, this soil is specifically for this. And don't get me wrong, like, yeah, like, they mix it with certain stuff to make it more suitable for, you know, raised beds or flower pots or whatnot. I get that. But at the same time, man, you can grow food in it. You can, a seed will sprout in it. Just put the seed in the dirt, water it. That's all. It's simple. I got some, remember those starts I did last week or the week before? They already sprouting. A lot of them already sprouting. I got squash. The squash is what sprouted the quickest. I got some carrots sprouting, some cucumbers. But yeah. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. The master hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Amen. Make sure we keep it respectful and be aware of other nationality sensitivity. Yes, let's keep it respectful for sure. Yeah, it's a rock. Okay, cool. E for generations. For real, we have long-term rent-out parcels for y'all. If y'all can afford a lot, our land just chilling because we all in Cali, but the land need to be brush hauled, which I can afford, but I'd want to know. Okay, appreciate that, Gilead. Appreciate that. So y'all reach out to Gilead Rock. They say they got land in Mississippi. Evelyn, what's going on? We are regulated to death in Germany. You even need a permit to use rainwater. I can't do something substantial here for myself, but I can learn, and I do enjoy your content. Use your freedom in the U.S. Nah, for sure. That's something to keep in mind. You know, a lot of us in America, a lot of these other countries, man, they overly regulated, heavily regulated. So let's take advantage of the freedoms that we do have. I have over 16 acres and 7 of them fenced in, and I don't use over 2 acres. See? Exactly. You're gonna grow into it. Glyphosate. Yep, it was glyphosate. Black mama. That's exactly what it was. Glyphosate. That's what they spraying over these oats, and it increases your risk of cancer up to 46% is what it said. Think about how crazy that is. 46%, it increases your rate to get cancer. And I think it was like lymphoma or something like that. But yeah, if y'all eating that, man, stop eating that. Go look for the organic seal on it. Like if it has the USDA organic, that should be good. Do the county give you a tax reduction when you purchase 5 acres or more? Not the county that I'm in. Backyard Homestead 27. Good to see you, fam. I've been vegan for 6 years now, and not trying to deter meat lovers, but meat ain't real. I opened up myself a plethora of different kind of foods. I make homemade since going plant-based. I agree, there's a lot of mystery meat, but that's why I prefer to process my own, you know, or be able to ethically source it. That way I know it's real. You know, raise it myself, source it myself. You know, that's what I do. And process it myself. And it's a difference in taste. When you get something that is processed, you know, by you or somebody you know it's fresh, it's a different taste than what you're gonna buy in the store. You think I can grow moringa out there, or would I need it in the greenhouse? You probably can grow moringa here. You probably can. I can't tell you for sure because I ain't never even looked into it, but I'm pretty sure you can. Cassandra, what's going on? Just tuning in for the truth bombs. You are going to drop today. Blessings. Appreciate that. RJ Will, what's going on, fam? Learn about Huber culture and worm compost. Yep. What's going on, Witchison? What's going on, fam? That moringa tree is so medicinal. You can get, yeah. Moringa is medicinal. We got the moringa powder as well. Grow your own, eat your own, raise your own. I'm telling you. Man, if y'all haven't already, run the like button up. Hit the like button if y'all haven't already. But we were talking about simplicity, right? And I got one more point, and I'm gonna let y'all get on about y'all day. You know what I'm saying? But simplicity, right? Simplicity isn't about having less. It's about making room for what matters most. It's about taking all the fillers out. Because like I talk about with food, for example, there's no reason why, you know, the so-called food that's in the grocery store, let's just say bread, for example. When you go and get bread and you look on the back, it's 13 ingredients. Bread is simple to make. Bread is like 2-3 ingredients to make. Maybe 4. It don't need 13 ingredients. So it's the same thing in life. When you simplify things, all it's doing is taking out the fillers. Just like with bread. When you cut the middleman out, say, I'm finna stop buying the store-bought bread, I'm gonna make my own. You cut out all the different fillers. And it's the same thing in life. When you simplify things in life, when you simplify your systems and your processes, and you simplify your lifestyle and how you do things, it cuts out all the unneeded fillers. It cuts out all the unneeded things, and you're able to put first things first. You're able to focus on what truly matters the most. And as a result, that thing will start to grow what you're focused on, whatever you're working towards. You'll reap the benefits. But a lot of times we think simple means less. No, it don't mean that. It just means only what's necessary. Only what's going to bring a result. Only what truly matters. You putting in the same amount of work, the same amount of effort, but you're just concentrating it in one location. You're being, dang, it's another one, y'all. Wow, that's crazy. Another chemtrail. That's crazy. I done seen at least 5 since I've been sitting out here with y'all. 5 or 6. But there's a blessing in simplicity, right? So as we go about our day, let's just think about how we can simplify some things in our life. Simplify your lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of our lifestyles are so noisy because it's so complicated. When if you just simplify it, you see what I'm saying? You simplify what you got going on, you could tone the noise down. You could turn the noise down. But see, when you got all these things going on, you got all these fillers, it's going to be loud. It's going to be loud. You're not going to be able to think. You're not going to be able to make decisions. See, when you live a simple life, see, and this is the thing, right? Why is it an insult to call somebody simple-minded? There's nothing wrong with being simple-minded. Now, I get what they're trying to say, but I'm just saying, like, the terminology, I don't agree with. Simple-minded, what's wrong with being simple-minded? What's wrong with understanding what's important and focusing only on that only? That's why, like, even when it comes to faith and religion. I don't get into debates because I focus on weighty matters. And weighty matters, it don't got nothing to do with strife. It don't got nothing to do with arguments. You see what I'm saying? The weighty matters is my heart and my posture and me checking myself and me circumcising my heart and me following the Most High. That's the weighty matters, and doing what His word says and walking by faith and not by sight. Not proving to you this or trying to deter you or change your mind about this or that. That ain't a weighty matter. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like there's nothing wrong with having a mindset of simplicity and understanding like, hey man, the only things we truly need, food, water, shelter, protection, family, companionship, those are the main things in life. But they've told us that, well, you got to be caught up on this series and this show, and you got to have this car, or you got to have this status symbol, you got to have this persona on the internet, all this stuff. The internet tells us what's important and what's not important. That ain't how life's supposed to be lived. Man, life's supposed to be simple. Sometimes we need to cut our screen time down, and we need to stop scrolling so much because we consuming our mind with so many things that don't even matter. When you come outside and you look around, the stuff that you just saw on TikTok, IG, YouTube, the stuff that you just saw there, most of it has nothing to do with your everyday life when you walk outside your door. You feel what I'm saying? So why are you consuming yourself with it? Why are you worried about it? You're just adding on things that don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Let's tune that out. And let's lock into what truly matters. And when you do that, then you'll be able to influence people to do the same. But not only that, you'll be fulfilled. You'll truly be fulfilled. You can see it in the chat talking about. Yes, exactly. And homemade is so much better. Homemade is better. Yep. Thanks for the reminder for sure. Blessing to everybody I set apart. What's going on, Crafty Gardener? Rot Shellify, what's going on? We need less dopamine. Yes, we do, because we get too much of it. What's the name where you get your oats? Azure Standard. Azure Standard. And so how Azure Standard works, and we're not sponsored by Azure Standard, but they got good products, so I don't mind shouting them out. But Azure Standard, how they operate is that they have drop-off points. So like you gotta look up where's the drop-off point, closest to you. It might be 30 minutes, it might be 45 minutes, it might be an hour, but there's a centralized location. Usually it's on somebody else's house or they farm or whatever. And so what they do is all the people in that area, they get all their orders and they ship it. And it's all shipped together. And then you all meet up at this meeting location, and a truck pulls in with all y'all orders, and then y'all get get all your orders dropped off, and then you pick it up from that centralized location. And so that's how it works. So I forget the name of what is the concept, but yeah, it's basically like that. Like you got to go to it. Like they don't drop it off to your house. You got to go to a centralized location and you got to pick it up. And a lot of times it'll be on somebody's farm or somebody's homestead. And then you can also get their information, whoever is house that is the drop off, and then they sell products too. Like the Azure Standard pickup we just got the other day, it was on somebody's farm, and they sell whole milk. See what I'm saying? So you can buy whole milk from them, yogurt, organic stuff. You see what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that. But yeah, Azure Standard, Azure Standard. Look into it. Like all their stuff is good. It's organic. They got meat too that you can get. But we don't do the meat because we source our own meat. But like the oats and the grains and all that type of stuff you can get from Azure Standard. When cooking in the kitchen, the recipe is already there. Don't add to the recipe or take away ingredients from the recipe. Let's cook, grow food in the word. Exactly, Grafted Olive. Let's stop adding to. Let's stop taking away from. Let's just follow the plan. Let's just follow the recipe. Sardine veteran. We ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna go into that right here. But I know what you're talking about. Everyone should learn how to graft their own fruit trees. It's not as complicated as I thought. It's not. And I was just grafting fruit trees last week. I propagated some branches that I grafted off of my fruit tree too. Off of two of my fruit trees. Everyone should learn. Oh, I just read that one. Yeah, that's right, Aki. Nah, for sure. Priority piecer. Whatever that means. Nope, come out of her, my people. Hey, that too. Honestly, the future market is going to need small operations for meat and produce. It's headed there. It is headed there, Fight Night. Love Azure, but I only ordered twice so far. Appreciate that. No, for sure. What's your thoughts on a homestead community buying land with other people type of deal? That's a good question. Honestly, you know, if that's what y'all led to do and y'all got an understanding, definitely make sure like y'all have an understanding in paper, in writing as well, because you know things change, people can change. I'm just being honest. Unless they family, and even family can change, but have the understanding written in you know, in a document, in a legal document, that hey, this is how we gonna parcel the land, this is what we agree to do, you know, this, that, and the third. Like, make sure you have some sort of legal backing if you're gonna be doing like a community type thing, you know. And I'm big on that. I know good intentions are good, but they're still just intentions, and people change. Even though they might have started with good intentions, people can change, you know what I mean? And people can, like, for real, like, emotions get involved and different things get involved. So, you know, just be careful. And I'm not saying not to do it, but what I'm saying is make sure you have some sort of legal backing just in case you are done wrong, you know, in regards to that. That way you'll have some sort of leverage when you're in a court of law. So that's what I would say to that, to community garden. But if y'all all on the same page, cool. But just make sure, again, you got legal documents stating the agreement that y'all got. You know, like I say, good intentions are good, but that don't mean that things don't change and people don't change. Parasites everywhere, exactly. I have a pomegranate tree. Me too. I have bought with a group in AZ. Not everyone is equally committed, so some of us bought separately in Georgia and share resources that work best for us. Yeah, see? Black mama, exactly. Exactly. Not everybody gonna be equally committed. See what I'm saying? Like, again, things change. Yeah, like, people can talk a good game initially, but it's like when it comes time to do that work, hey man, and when things ain't panning out how you planned them and how you thought they was gonna pan out, you know, people's feelings start to change. All right, grab the Olive. I'll see you later, fam. I'll probably go live again today. I have learned how to make my own laundry soap, bread, and pasta. I will be buying a cookbook so I can start cooking from scratch. The less I have to depend on them, the better off me and my honey will be. Exactly, her roots. Exactly. Songbirds in the early morning can open. Positive frequency music I heard helps also. Yes, exactly. But yeah, I'm about to get up out of here too, fam. But I appreciate the chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to do coffee chat every morning, or you know, at least 4 or 5 days out the week. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me. You know what I mean? But let's keep it simple. Remember, keep it simple. And you know, we ain't gotta overcomplicate everything. See what's too complicated in your life and see what you can cut out. You know what I mean? And you know, that way that we can all focus on what truly matters the most. But y'all know what I always like to say, man. If you give them the power to feed you, you give them the power to starve you. See y'all on the next one.